Well, that Mouldy Oldie was Groovy Movies by the Kinks. I think it was pretty funky.
I love the Kinks, and it was pretty funky.
It was.
It was funky, right?
Yeah.
It was funky.
So, moving forward with today's Art Matters special, we have two young filmmakers joining us who have both made their own groovy movies that will be featured in the Little Big Shots Film Festival.
If you haven't heard of the Little Big Shots Film Festival before, here's your chance. As we said earlier, the Little Big Shots Festival screens around 105 sensational short films and animations from the 6th of June to the 9th of June.
105 short films in just 4 days? Sounds super jam-packed. There is going to be award-winning international and Aussie short films collections being shown on the big screen at ACME, which, as we've already established, stands for the Australian Centre for the Moving Image, with some films being shown from the USA, UK, France, Japan, and many more countries. Little Big Shots Festival is going to have a unique festival in Melbourne before it tours nationally around Australia during the 2014 and 2015 period.
Now let's welcome filmmakers Catriona Warren and Lola Hewison.
Welcome!
Hi.
Thank you for coming into Primary Perspectives today, guys. We heard you were very excited to be participating in radio today, and here is a big welcome from all of us. That was, yeah. I was like giving you guys a hug, but I wasn't actually hugging you.
People can't see that, but
Yeah.
it's okay. We're open arms. It's all
Sends
good.
radio hug.
Yeah.
Now, Kat, we understand you were assistant director on the short film, Duck and the Elephant, plus an actress in The Birthday Bash. And Lola, you were camera operator for both films. I really like the Duck and Elephant spin on the Owl and the Pussycat. Who wrote the script for The Duck and the Elephant?
That was my mum and the director Jessica Hayes, or Jess as she liked to be called.
Kat, how old were you when you became interested in directing short films?
I was 11 years old, but I've always wanted to be, had something to do with films since I was 5 years old.
Pretty fabulous.
Yeah.
Lola, you classify yourself as more of a cinematographer. For those listening who aren't exactly sure what a cinematographer is, can you explain it for us?
A cinematographer is basically the person who's behind the camera who's filming the film or like the TV show or whatever it is that you're filming. And so, yeah, it's basically the person that's behind the camera.
Huh. And Kat, what would you say is your favourite part about being a director? Because I know it can be pretty fun, so I just want to know, like, your favourite.
It's like, do this, do that.
Yeah. You're like the leader. You're the big
Do
one.
what I say, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, there's a lot of amazing parts of, and not even, there's so many amazing parts, but probably my favourite is doing the whole shooting process because I really get to establish, I want this shot to look like this, and then I work with Lola, and it's a really fun and really exciting day for me personally.
That would actually be really fun.
It would.
You can say, I think this artistic
And
angle would
it's
be
a
good.
very creative process.
Yeah, it is. You have to be very creative to be able to be a
and
director.
put a thing together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, another question for Kat. Can you explain the casting process for films? What makes one actor stand out over another, and would you say their physical expression stands out, or the delivery of lines, for example?
Well, we have a whole different range of places where we get casts, actors and actresses, social media, so that's such as Facebook, Instagram, all the popular ones now, and acting schools, even just ringing up your friends, your mates,
Hey, do you want to,
Disney
be in
Channel.
my film?
or family, and that's just you get a whole different varieties of actors. Sorry. And I would say the physical expression, because normally for me, I really like things to be really good expressions rather than delivering the lines.
Yeah.
You can have someone that's really good at delivering lines, but they stand there
Yeah.
expressionless.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you can see that they're delivering the lines, but you can't feel the emotion that they're presenting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And so if they are good at that, then you're just like, wow, great actor. Just fabulous.
Lola, at your age, many kids wanted to be in front of the camera and act. What attracted you to work behind the camera instead? When I was on set, I really enjoyed when I was in front of the camera because I love acting, so in my opinion, I would love to be in front of it. But of course, it's different for everybody.
Well, a really long time ago, I wanted to be in front of the camera, being the actor. But I usually don't even like watching myself on film anyway. But I don't think I'm a very good actor.
I'm sure
I
you're
reckon
great.
you're good.
But I've always loved the idea of, well, also I love watching films, but I've always liked the idea of actually connecting the story with a visual. So,
Okay.
and also that I actually kind of like the camera is mine to use and I can just make it as creative as I would like.
Also, Lola, as a cinematographer, do you have a favourite moment while on shoot?
This is always a really hard question to answer.
I would say lunch for me, just so you get the food and stuff.
No, but you're the actor. You're the
Yeah.
one that you do, you know.
True.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to meet the actors. Sorry, this is your question and answer, not mine.
One of my favourite moments would probably be one of those dramatic moments that I can actually make as creative as I like, because it's
When
always
someone
fun being
dies.
creative. But like, yeah, it's always one of those moments when I can just make it mine and make it how I want it to be. And
Pretty good.
yeah.
True, if you're a director, you can just say, no, I don't want it like that. I want it like this. And then people have to go along with it. I never thought of that. And if you're an actor, you just like, oh, yeah, you guys are smart. I like it.
If you're an actor, you just have to do what everyone else tells you.
Yeah. If you're an actor, you just sit there and you act, and then you wait for lunch to roll around. Then you eat everything, and then you're back.
Yeah.
Unless they present dinner as well, then you're flying, and then you're like, yes,
Okay.
food.
And Lola, as a cinematographer, do you feel you work closely with the director? Do you choose your shots, such as long shot or close up, in discussion with the director?
So first of all, I think I do work quite closely with the director. We used to go to school together and we were actually pretty good friends. And I think it's really important on a set that you should have a good relationship with the director. Otherwise, if you don't get along very well, it's hard to work with someone that you don't really like or you don't really get along with. And for the question you asked, if I do choose my shots, I do choose my shots most of the time, but being with the director, they also have like a massive part in choosing a lot of where things are going to go and how things are going to be. But we kind of work together in how the shots are going to look like and where they're going to be placed. But like, yeah, I do have I do choose quite a lot of shots, but also with the director.
And just one last question for you both this afternoon. For Kat, what tips do you want to give kids who want to be filmmakers and directors?
Ooh, this one's always been a tough one. But I would say that there's a few actually, but I would say that you have to like, it's an amazing experience, of course, but it's really like, it's a lot of hard work, but it's very rewarding. So you have to be very dedicated. And as Lola said, I get along with Lola on the film set and outside of the film set.
Well, that's good. That's good. We don't need to be,
Enemies.
rivals outside
Arch enemies.
films.
Yeah.
And also, when I create when I'm directing a film and Lola's helping, I'm not sure if this goes through Lola's mind, but for me, like, I always have my audience in my mind. My audience is my, I have to please the audience because at the end of the day, they're the ones that are buying the tickets.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I got to keep them happy so then I'm happy. So
Yeah.
happy.
Well, girls, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. How have you enjoyed being in a radio studio instead of TV show?
It's really cool. It's really fun.
It is cool.
It's like our first time,
Yeah, it is.
so it's really cool.
Yeah.
Hope you weren't too nervous. You sound really good on radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got good voices for radio, guys.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you guys have had a good time at the Little Big Shots Festival and keep spreading your love for film around. And perhaps we'll see your names up in lights in the future on some blockbuster films, hey?
I hope so too.
Yeah.
With Lola.
Like, I interviewed them when they were 12.
Yeah, when they were 12, I was like totally interviewing them. So bow down. Let's give a big studio round of applause for Lola and Kat.
Woo! Woo!
Thank
See
you
ya.
guys. Bye.